Climate change, environmental breakdown, the old spicy ice caps. You've heard of it, and yet you still hop in your car and drive to work every day. Because, what else are you gonna do? And yet you know, deep in your heart of hearts, that transport accounts for 1/4 of the US's greenhouse gas emissions. Fortunately, the solution is obvious. Sensible urban design, robust public transport options, and that's right, trains.
No trains, Hazel. Please stick to the script.
Right, no, totally, yeah. So the obvious answer is the modern miracle of electric vehicles. So let's rev up those good government subsidies, swing over to the Tesla dealership, and buy. Wow, literally forgetting about the exploitation of the global south and working class citizens? Cars are literally destroying our community. You're just trying to take my truck away. Trump was right. This whole climate conspiracy is here to take away our rights and make us communists. It looks like today we're joined by Liberty Appleby, howdy, and Crystal Green, who both hate electric cars. All right, let's start with you, Crystal. You don't need a car, nobody needs a car. Electric or not, you are committing literal ecocide with those lithium-powered death machines. Electric cars aren't here to save the world. They're here to save the car industry. Good point, Crystal. And now nice try. You liberals are trying to take away our Hemis and make us drive those commie-mobiles that can't go further than 5 miles to keep us sucking on the teat of government electricity. Less good point. All right, Crystal, if you're so worried about the exploitation of low-income people, what about all the people getting sick and dying from car pollution? Who do you think those people are, rich white yuppies? Exactly. When will someone think of the white And we're out. Well, that was, productive. So, will EVs save the world? Yes? That's all right, we'll figure it out. Hi, I'm Hazel, and you finally made it to the intro. Welcome back to UnF***ing the Planet. Will electric vehicles unf*** the planet, or are they a scam? What about all this lithium mining in our grid chock full of fossil fuels? Why do we have to drive cars at all when it would be more environmentally and economically efficient to just have decent public transit, maybe some high-speed rail?
Hazel?
And to answer all of those electric vehicle questions about electric vehicles only, let's start at the beginning. It all started when a little heir to a little emerald mining fortune in South Africa had a dream to be the first little man to invent an electric vehicle. But he had a problem. The EV was invented 100 years earlier. So he simply bought the rights to call himself the founder of Tesla from the real founders of Tesla, and that is the only joke he gets. It all actually started with a commercial electric car, the Electrobat, in 1894. And more importantly, as of now, there are no bands named the Electrobats. I repeat, there are no bands named the Electrobats. That one is free for the taking. And these prehistoric EVs were popular. In 1899, they made up 90% of New York's taxi fleet. Means, okay, there were 12 of them. Small fleet. But then, man discovered oil. All over the states, people were digging up that sweet, sweet Texas tea as gas-powered cars became way cheaper. And for the Electrobat and its descendants, that was the end of that. Until 1996, when GM unveiled its very first electric car, the creatively named EV1.
Is this what all those science fiction writers had in mind?
Reviving the great American EV dream, ushering in a new green world where former oil executives and sea otters floated on their backs downstream, hand in hand. Except they only made like a handful of them, leased them out to a couple niche pre-internet micro-celebrities, and then gave up. Fuck the otters. But why? California had just passed a mandate requiring a certain amount of vehicles to be zero emission, what with car smog giving their entire population black lung. With so much on the line, why would GM give up on the EV after just one experiment? It was oil companies and car companies. Of course it was. They formed astroturfing groups like Californians Against Utility Abuse and the Freedom to Drive Coalition and the We Heart Cancer Foundation. These groups of concerned citizens expressed the fact that the ordinary average car-loving Joes of the world felt that electric vehicles were infringing on their freedoms or something. Derek Morgan, senior VP at the American Fuel and Petrochemical Manufacturers Group, said, and I quote, "We feel like in terms of wanting this to be a free market, we're on the side of the angels here. On the side of the angels? Well, I guess he kinda was. Next, welcome to heaven. Hey, you're pretty. Thanks, you are too. Thanks. Cause of death? Los Angeles. Wait, let me guess. Smog lung. You know it. Wow, you're our 547th one today. Come on in and collect your wings. Thanks, Derek. Thanks to oil industry shills like Derek, the EV was unceremoniously killed. Well, there was a ceremony. Some even suspect that GM themselves killed their own product to prove to California that the EV was unviable so the state would let them continue producing their much more profitable gas cars. But that's obviously crazy. GM would never be involved in such overtly evil, far-reaching conspiracies. Okay, so we all know about the problems with EVs. Let's talk about the solutions. I've got one word for you. And it's just 5 words. EV chargers in every Denny's. Range anxiety? EV chargers only take like 30 minutes to charge up. You're in the middle of nowhere, need to kill 30 minutes? I know where I'm going.
Denny's!
Your filthy landlord won't pay for an EV charger? Guess where you can go to get a Grand Slam breakfast and a free full tank of gas every morning?
Denny's!
What, EV energy comes from dirty fossil fuel energy? Not if you slap some solar panels on that Denny's.
Sun over my hammy!
EVs are expensive, sure, for now, but pancakes, they're only $8.99, I think?
Denny's! They're not sponsoring us! At least not yet.
Listen, when a restaurant has an entire Wikipedia tab labeled controversies, you know they need some good PR. And you can't spell controversy without EV. Except not in that order. So how about it, Mr. Denny? Do we have a deal?
No!
We have fun here. But seriously, folks, these are real problems. To make EVs work for everyone, we need infrastructure. Gas cars weren't practical either until there was a giant concrete station on every corner pumping in volatile gasoline and selling candy and condoms. We need that kind of infrastructure for EVs. And for that, we need government investment. And they're starting to. Just this September, they approved 500,000 EV chargers for our highways. But I want more. What about landlords and businesses? They're not gonna build EV chargers just out of the goodness of their own little landlord hearts. We need to make it worth their while with money. Then we'll be able to turn all those former gas stations into, well, uninhabitable, oil-drenched Superfund sites. But we'll fix those in the next episode. Yeah, but if your zero-emission vehicle gets its electricity from fossil fuels, what's the point? The point is that real Americans need real fossil fuels because that means real jobs for real Americans who are real. Driving will never be the answer. Just bike to the bus stop, wait for the bus, carry your bike onto the bus into town, take another bus from there, then bike to your final destination. Unless you're so elitist, you can't spare the time. Elitist? Only elites have that kind of time. And even if the grid is run on fossil fuels, it's definitely still a reduction in emissions. And that gas F-150 will always use gas. But an F-150 Lightning, we can at least change where that electricity comes from. Clean energy is literally cheaper, worldwide, is growing faster than polluting energy, and is backed by most governments. It's poised to take over fossil fuels like any day. We just have to green the grid. Okay, that's not actually trademarked, but it would make a great debut album for the Electrobats. We have fun here and save the planet. And once Denny's comes through with those tax-exempt solar panels, they'll definitely sponsor us.
Probably not.
And finally, we're ready for everyone in the world to swap out their gross gas cars with EVs, and we've fixed it. All we gotta do is find some more lithium. Yeah, lithium. Right now, pretty much all of our lithium is extracted in other countries, and us importing their lithium isn't exactly stimulating the local economy or creating jobs so much as plundering the local economy and creating child labor. Lithium is a problem, but unlike the proliferation of hilarious insurance commercials, there is an end in sight. More sustainable lithium mining is coming in the form of things like direct lithium extraction, which is an emerging geothermal technology the National Renewable Energy Laboratory is researching. It extracts lithium from underground brine like pickles. Pickles made of lithium. In fact, new research shows that the Salton Sea has enough lithium to supply all of the US's and 40% of the planet's projected needs. Let's talk recycling. Right now, when it comes to EV batteries, we are recycling approximately fucking none of them. But once the battery recycling industry takes off, which it is already currently doing, we should be able to reclaim a lot of the minerals and then upcycle them for other electronics. Even better, there's a huge arms race right now to figure out the smallest, best batteries, and actually, a lot of them don't even use lithium at all. So even though we do have problems to solve here, spewing environmental breakdown-inducing gases into the atmosphere still causes way more damage than mining. But there is one more problem left to solve. Traffic, car-dependent infrastructure, and all of the environmental carnage that comes with it is not going away. Most car trips are under 6 miles. Most car trips are taken alone. In cities, small changes to zoning laws and design could mean these trips are easier on foot, bike, or public transit.
Hazel?
Yes, trains! I'm not gonna take it anymore. The cooler version of me was right. We can't get away with replacing every gas metal death trap with a luxury electric metal death trap and just calling it a f***ing day. That's right, baby. This is a car hater video. You didn't sign up for it, you're in it. Get on the bike. This is how we fix bad land use and miles of cement and cars and traffic. You know those tech bros from earlier who solved all our lithium problems or whatever? They've also invented solutions to traffic. They've invented it over and over and over again. And every single time, it's just a bus or a train with more chrome and machine learning or some shit. Call them cyber rails or turbopods or Magic Satisfier Pro 2s, but cyber trolleys are just electric cars that charge as they go, and trains are just hyperloops that work. And now that we have talked about electric vehicles for
11 minutes and 56 seconds.
without talking about electric bikes, I don't even have a car. I have an electric bike and it takes me everywhere I need to go, doesn't ruin cities with parking spots and overpasses, and doesn't need much lithium or rare earth elements. Where's my billions of dollars of subsidies? Or just, like, dollars. I need a new bike lock. If we're gonna beat climate change, we don't just need electric vehicles, we need walkable, bikeable, transitable cities with trains in between.
Hazel, we have a proposal. Finish the EV episode and we will give you a bike episode at a later date. What do you say?
Okay, let's talk. Okay, so if you're already in the market for a new car and you have to drive a lot and you can't make these trips on transit or walking or biking, then you should probably consider getting an EV.
Hazel, was that so hard?
Yes.
Need a ride?
No thanks.
Wait, is that an electric?
Well, gas prices.
I could've walked it. Of course you could've. It was only 70 miles. Through bear country. Maybe I like bears. You wanna get out? Just drop me at the train station.
Wow, we sure learned a lot today. If you like what you saw and want to see more, smash that subscribe button, smash that notification button, smash that like button, smash that share button, smash that comment button. Am I missing any? I think that's it.